The all-consuming Red Death. 600 years ago, King Arthur led the Great Escape from the homelands, where our kingdoms were ravaged by the plague. Leading people to Avalon, he started the Age of Conquest and took the island from the Four-Dwellers. Using the mysterious powers of Menhirs, together with Merlin, they cleansed the land of the weirdness, a primordial force of chaos and possibility. But now, long after the death of the king, Camelot is in shambles as Avalon fractures into chaos. Old legends are gone, and the weirdness is creeping back into our lands. The bleeding heart of the plague has started beating once more, and the Red Death has returned. Rulers of the island asylum, an order of the Red Priests, are desperate to stop it by any means necessary. Rotting in one of their cells is a stranger who might bring a spark of change to this cursed island stuck in everlasting autumn.
Rise and shine, rise and shine. Yes, it's me again. And I hope this time you'll cooperate, without me needing to repeatedly hit you in the face, eh? Look, we just have to get this over and done with. Unless you want a visit from someone upstairs. And trust me, you don't. Just like before, no food until we're done here. And the moment you start getting on my nerves, we're going back to my tried and tested fists. So, tell me, what were you doing in the forest when the Red Shields caught you? Yeah, you look like one of those half-starved druids who survived the Charred Conclave. We've picked almost all of you up from the forest by now, so there aren't many of you crooks left out there. So, you're a tree hugger then? Big talk, as always. Yeah, I've never seen you people do anything but fireworks and illusions. Not much use during a real fight, as is evident from you being in here rather than out there. Okay, that was easier than I expected. Now, unfortunately, we'll have to start. I've always found it puzzling that these people won't bathe. You, I understand. You're literally rotting in this damned cell. But them? There's just no excuse for the stench. There they are, finally. I know, you've a million questions, but they'll have to wait. One of these keys will open your cell. When you get out, head left. I'll scout ahead.
Drip, drip, drip. Do you hear it? Soon the king will return. I told the priests. They laughed, but they'll soon see for themselves. Drip, drip, drip. The storm is gathering. At last, the age of resurrections shall end, and then the once and future king will return. I cannot wait to behold his radiance, trip after trip. With each drop, it gets closer and closer. None of us are free. We are all bound, all bound. And to go? No. I don't want to. I found my place to await the king. You can go if you want, but you won't get far. We are all bound, all bound. Trip after trip, closer and closer. Sage and alcohol. It's the simplest recipe. I can't believe I have to keep repeating myself.
You know how the young ones are. They dream of dissecting fort dwellers, yet they can't remember the basics.
Before you build a castle, you must first know how to fling a shed together.
I agree. The fundamentals are essential. But the world is moving forward. And the young are eager to make their mark as quickly as possible.
Stay back. I may not be in top shape, but I can tear you to pieces if I have to. It should, although I admit that the past few weeks have made me hate the taste. Still, thank you. There isn't much kindness going around this place. It wouldn't be very gracious of me not to repay it, would it? Take this. It might prove useful for you. So, you escaped too? Huh. They're having quite a day. Good. I hope it gets even worse. This whole place is mad. From a safe distance this time. Same as you, I guess. Wrong time, wrong place. I was wandering through Kunakt and got caught in an outbreak. I was kept with the rest at first, but when they figured out I was a Pict, well, then I deserved special treatment. One of the priests took me to a place so thick with weirdness, it scared me. I needed to get away, otherwise, I don't know what would have happened. I just know whatever it wasn't for me. They play with powers they don't understand. Trying to wrangle the weirdness into obedience is a fool's dream. The weirdness might listen, but blind obedience is not in its nature. Why indeed? Perhaps it's a test of patience. My hair tangles mercilessly around them. I even need to wear head wraps to hide them. I hate wearing head wraps. Ugh.
You took your sweet time, eh? But I understand. I did too, when I was leaving this place for the first time. You have to admit that the Red Priests are quite resourceful. At least when it comes to death and dying. Great question, truly. But in case you hadn't noticed, we're still within the walls of the island asylum. When we're out, then we can talk. I'm told this path leads to the beach. I'll wait for you there until dusk. Good luck. I'm told this path leads to the beach. I'll wait for you there until dusk. Good luck.
It's not here. I've been waiting a long time for someone to find me. Are you here to help me leave this place? I wish I could answer. I cannot remember. I know I am not complete. I remember I once knew who I was at some point, but I do not anymore. I just am. I do not know. I think it is some kind of prison, deep in the weirdness. And you? Why are you here? Are men here? That would explain the weirdness surrounding us. But walk with me. Let's find out together, now that I'm free. I remember arriving on the shores of Avalon. That was the beginning of everything. But there were doubts and questions. How does it feel to leave your homeland behind? To keep moving forward, even though every step takes you into the unknown? The Four Dwellers quickly made it clear to us. If we wanted to call this place home, we'd have to fight for it, down to the last drop of blood. In the end, we won the war. Merlin stole the sacred flame of the Four Dwellers and ignited the Menhirs, driving away the mist and clearing the nights of weirdness. It was the first time we uncovered the secrets hidden within the Menhirs. Still, the land of Avalon honored our toil. It soaked up our sweat, our suffering, and our blood. In time, it rewarded us. Here in Avalon, we were given the chance to create great things. Camelot, the eternal castle, the capital of all humankind, was meant to be a symbol of that. We left the homelands to survive. The plague had consumed everything we once knew. We thought we'd escaped it, but the Red Death returned like a specter to haunt us. Once again, it began to devour our home.
Muspelheim, Is, Oberfäller, Linie, Jotutsgeber, Esheit, Inung, Gagab, Niflheim, Muspelheim, Is, Oberfäller, Linie, Jotutsgeber, Esheit, Inung, Gagab, Niflheim, Muspelheim, Is, Oberfäller, Linie, Jotutsgeber, Esheit, Inung, Gagab, Niflheim, Muspelheim, Is, Oberfäller, Linie, Jotutsgeber, Esheit. Oh, awaken thee, once and future king.
I am his hunger, the craving for what was beyond reach. I am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am his hunger, the craving for what was beyond reach. I am the price paid for touching the unreal.
Yes, I can see through the mist, but it's still all so unclear. I've dreamt of countless deaths for such a long time. Yes, it's time to wake. Pendragon. I led humans to Avalon shores. I built the great halls of Camelot. Thank you for bringing me here. I believe I owe you, young one. I appreciate it, but let us leave decorum and honors for times of leisure. For now, we need to make way for Avalon. I have to see my kingdom again. I trust you'll accompany me, or would you rather stay in this wretched place? I am not sure. Yet I learned to be grateful of fortunate outcomes, even if they come unexpected. It seems to be a place located between life and death. Or maybe a place that can defy death. But why was it created? By whom and when? These I'm unable to answer. Trust me, I wish I knew. I remember death, then darkness. A terrible loneliness. Ages upon ages of solitude. And these are all the details I have. Perhaps, in time, I'll remember more. But that's enough questions for now. Let us walk together and see the kingdom forged so long ago. After years of struggle, my people in Avalon finally live in peace and prosperity. I must see the legacy of the Age of Conquest with my own eyes. My Camelot in all its glory. What is happening? whole. You have only freed a part of me. I'm not strong enough. For now, I will have to journey by your side until my strength returns. I'll see the world through your eyes. In return, I'll lend you what strength I have. You are a surprising acquaintance, and it will be a pleasure to travel with someone of your disposition. And since it seems that fate has bound us together, let us make the best of it. Seeing my legacy through the eyes of another, a true picture of Avalon, not one crafted specifically for the king, may prove to be an interesting experience. Oh, what an adventure this will be.
There you are. It took you a while. I was getting worried you wouldn't make it. I even realized that I didn't get a chance to introduce myself. I'm Caradoc, your savior. What kept you so long? Figured you would. A place like that doesn't let anyone through easy. But you're standing here, looking healthier than last time. So I'm guessing you found something worth the trouble. You found him. I'm truly sorry it turned out to be you. Well, it seems that the Red Priests managed to succeed in at least one of their experiments. You were able to go deep into the weirdness, survive, and even bring a piece of our king's soul back with you. I don't have to explain that this isn't something that happens every day. My job is to make sure it won't ever happen again. And this means you have to die. I'm truly sorry. I'm sorry, but that had to be done. It shouldn't leave any lasting damage. I had to get rid of the parasite that infested you a moment ago. You've seen, no, you've felt what he's capable of. This power can't be unleashed on Avalon. Not again. I could, but I have no issue with you. Only with what you carry within you. This means you're safe, unless you decide to stand against me. You are much more valuable to me alive than dead. You've found yourself in the middle of a mess that's been brewing for 600 years. Every single time things go down the shitter on this island, a bunch of cowards in Camelot bring our once and future king back from the dead. It's happened before. It will happen again. And soon. My journey, my mission, is to stop this from happening. No, but thanks to you, I finally destroyed a piece of him I couldn't have reached otherwise. And from where I stand, that's progress. What the Red Priests did to you must have been horrible. And yet, you've gained a unique ability to contain Arthur's powers within you. And what can be contained can be killed. That is why your assistance might be of help on my journey. My goal is to destroy King Arthur. To get rid of him, once and for all. There are pieces of his soul scattered across Avalon. I could use help in finding, collecting, and destroying them. He's the reason the world as we know it is coming to an end. Every time they resurrect him, the weirdness grows stronger. Soon it will cover all of Avalon, and nobody will survive that. I've been cleaning this mess for a long time now, and I truly wish for this nightmare to end. I stand against the most powerful being Avalon has ever seen. This requires caution. What would you do were you in my place? Kindly ask your target if it wants to be killed. Please. And if you really must know, the spell I used on my sword couldn't have harmed you. I knew that, you were surprised, I got the upper hand, and now you're safe and sound. Can we leave this behind, or did I judge you incorrectly and you'd like to waste some more of our time and cry about it some more? The plan is to steal Excalibur, or at least what's hiding within that damned blade. A piece of our king is bound to it, and so it needs to be destroyed. We'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. The sword is kept in the Horns of the South. It's a fortress, but if someone has this emblem, they can enter freely. Here, Pin it to your clothes. If you decide to help me, you should get in without any issues. When you do, find the captain. Brendan's his name. He'll tell you the rest. I have something to do first, but you should get some rest. Judging by the waves, the journey won't be pleasant. Set up a camp and get some sleep. Then we'll sail for the Horns of the South. Ah, and here, have some cobweb. Throw that into the fire and you'll be safe from the weirdness. Just in case I don't come back before nightfall.
I should be gone. I should be gone. And yet, here we are. Whatever he tried, it must have failed. Something must have gone wrong. For him. For us, it was a stroke of luck. I felt him strike. For a moment, there was nothing. No weight, no voice, no self. Just silence. But then, you pulled me back, didn't you? Or have I never left? Hatred, yes. That much I understood. But why? What did I take from him that he would go so far? He speaks as if he knows me, as if he has seen something I have not. And yet, I reach for it, and there is nothing. No, it seems that I should, but I don't. He knew me, spoke with certainty, with anger. But to me, he's a stranger. If he was a part of my past, then that past has been taken from me. I need to regain it. I don't... Not much. That isn't right. I should remember. I should. All I know is that I left my kingdom strong, prosperous. It should have grown. It must have flourished in my absence. It seems so. If Caradoc is hunting for more pieces of my soul, we should definitely claim them first. When we do, I should grow stronger. I should remember. I should be whole. Let's go then, young one. Let's not waste any more time. I left my kingdom strong. It should have only grown stronger in my absence. And if something threatens it now, then I will see it restored.
The sea was restless, waves slamming against the hull as you left the island asylum behind. Caradoc's boat cut through the black waters, its course set for Avalon shores. Then the deep stirred. A shudder ran through the vessel from neither wind nor tide, but from something far below. A presence, ancient and watching. And then it struck. The boat lurched violently, wood splintering as the sea itself rose in fury. A shadow moved beneath the surface, vast, coiling, inescapable. The next wave swallowed everything. Darkness took you. Salt filled your lungs, and then light. The crash of waves, the cold kiss of wet sand. You were alive. The sea had spared you, but not without a cost.
What's happening? In the name of the All-Mother, what are you doing? I could have stabbed you. Wait, I haven't seen you before. But we don't just let anybody in, pal. You need to have, things, proof. Things to prove you're safe. For Haven. Yeah. This pin. I can't say I see it very clearly at this present moment, but it does look important. Very official. But I remember Fergus said something about all this, these emblems once. Oh, yes, I remember now. I welcome thee, ye, royal person, on behalf of the keepers. You are a great friend to our home. Welcome. Please, speak with Fergus. He's our quartermaster. He runs things around here in the captain's absence. He'll greet thee properly. Have a pleasant rest of the day. Open it up, boys!
Welcome! In the name of our eternally reigning Majesty King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Tables, I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown is the duty and pride of every subject. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of each bandit roving the area, as long as adequate proof is provided. I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals, especially those considered particularly dangerous. Please, state your business. Oh, someone finally checked out the notices I was posting on the board. Go chop off some heads. That's correct. My name is Killian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the Keepers to fight. The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily as we did the Druids. There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to spread our forces too thin. There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those Pict savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages, but who knows how it'll end. Well, you've probably heard about the Druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see it. Yep, made human sacrifices, prayed to the dark gods, brought the weirdness back. Bunch of bastards. Good thing they're worm food now. Most of them, the survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the Charred Conclave, I don't know. Would you like to hear about him? His name was Slaudiarg. He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw the bodies of executed convicts. They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started needing some fresher corpses, so he slaughtered one of the keepers. The Horns organized a manhunt. They found him and sentenced him to death. People say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red and it's been scarred since that day. Some say that Slaudiarg came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me, it's just a tale by local simpletons. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's putting it mildly. The Witch Morgaine would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone weren't so afraid of her. And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place, and loudly demanding changes. Everything is falling apart. Oh hey, before you go, I can see the bloodlust in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.
Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. He's not drinking again, I hope. Huh, that's surprising. But good. Very good. He's been a drunk for as long as I can remember. Keeps saying he'll stop, but he never does. At least not for long. The name's Fergus.
And I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here. Now state your business.
And please, try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress will be the last thing you'll ever see. Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. However, these pens were only given to certain people. They mean that in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven here in the Horns.
And that makes me wonder, what happened to your friend? Where is he? If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain.
However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a Knight of the Round Table. But nobody's that much of a fool, I think. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life, and you don't look like one. Fortunately for me, this pen only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the Horns. Nothing about helping you out with whatever you're up to.
Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. Make yourself at home.
We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to rest in peace. There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it has been steadily creeping closer from the north, but somehow I doubt it.
Anyway, I suggest you go see Marg first. He knows best what's going on there. He's our huntsman. He keeps us stocked with meat, so the lads don't have to live on fish alone. They get pretty grumpy when that happens. Right now, Marg is the only other person who's allowed to leave the keep. I'm not about to risk the life of our last link to the outside world, especially when you're so eager to lend a hand.
There is a local legend about a dark druid named Slaughter? Slaughter, that was it. He was a necromancer rumored to be able to raise the dead and make them do his bidding. It's quite an old legend, though, so unless he managed to raise himself from the dead, I doubt he's behind this. It's old. From what I've heard, it even predates the Horns of the South. The keepers and the people from the village below used to bury their dead there, but after the flood, it's been pretty much abandoned. Yeah, damn druids. They flooded a village of innocent people just to show everyone they're still in power. Fat lot of good it did them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad we got rid of them. The things they could do were unnatural.
It's not far, and it's hard to miss. But honestly, I'd suggest you go see Marg first. You don't really know what you're walking into, so if I were you, I'd try to learn as much as possible beforehand.
The captain forbade anyone from leaving the keep, so I couldn't. And truth be told, I didn't particularly want to. We don't get many recruits, and you're, well... Sure, let's go with that. Good. Try not to get yourself killed, and get rid of whatever's been causing the problem.
Excalibur? You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can, go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it. I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. I take care of our everyday life.
Fine then. This is the keep. Anyone sworn in as a keeper lives here, unless they're no longer fit for service. If that happens, they get transferred to the village. Otherwise, they're not allowed to go there without my express permission. So if you ever see any of my boys down there looking shifty, feel free to report them.
You're allowed to walk around the keep and the village, but if anyone catches you stealing, I'll take your hands. If you attack any of my men, I'll take your head. That enough for you?
He's not our first line of defense. The archers are. Every man here needs to have a job. And no offense to Odrin, but let's just say we can afford to lose him. I'm sure the hordes of visitors clamoring at our gates can survive the insult. It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Ah, those must have been the days. But then the ships stopped coming, and there were less and less new keepers, and the others left looking for a better life. Until, at last, the sea took most of it. What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and nobody wanted to anyway. Not since the monsters started coming out of the sea. We wiped out most of them, but new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. You can talk to him if you want. Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know. Ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we've been eating nothing but fish. Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, you'll want to talk to the captain. But that's not happening anytime soon. Because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just enter our keep and head straight for the captain's quarters? There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there? And have you helped any of my people? Or are you just here to wave that pin in my face again? First, show me you care, and then I'll take you to the captain. I can't have every random stray wasting his time. Not now, when the outcome of the war with its tribes is so precarious. I trust we understand each other? Good. Come back when you've proven your worth to the Horns of the South. Then we'll talk. No. No, you can't. I don't take bribes, but if you're eager to throw your gold around, my keepers are running a charity for our veterans. That way, your coin pouch won't weigh you down, and you'll be supporting a worthy cause. That's a shame. In that case, why not help them with your own two hands? I might look more favorably on you after that. So what? So you've changed your mind? That's a shame. If you need rest, you can sleep in the barracks. It's no royal chamber, but it's better to sleep under a roof than under the stars, right? Especially in this horrible weather.
Let me guess. Camelot, no? Timberwall, also no? So you're not from the north? Ah, of course.
You must be from Connacht. I should have guessed right away. So, who's in charge there now?
Oh, I was just wondering what's going on out there. Here in the south, we have our own affairs. What happens out there in the world? Well, the news doesn't always travel all the way here.
And they should. It's in our common interest.
You know, people are talking about rising unrest in the north, and a secret coalition preparing a coup at the highest levels of power. And that whole plague thing is just a tool to reach their final goal. The Red Priests are also trying to get something out of it.
And to be honest, it's not gone too bad for them. The Druids are out of the picture already.
Well, sure. They want to establish a new order on our island. And it's not clear who's involved in the whole mess.
Maybe. Maybe our captain is even involved. Hell knows. They have their people everywhere. Damn it, you could be one of them too. Although when I look at you, I don't think so. You have such a stupid face. With all due respect, of course.
That's the case. Those sons of bitches are good at hiding. They kinda blend in and live among us. It's hard to tell if it's hideous magic or some other tricks.
Wait a minute. I'm not suggesting anything here. I'm just thinking out loud.
It doesn't make sense that the plague appeared just like that. Out of bloody nowhere? Hell no. It's a high-stakes game.
Power over us, of course. Over our bodies and souls. Over Avalon. Over the whole damn course of history.
You see? It takes one to know one. And that means we're just pawns. Folks like us won't change anything. But we have to talk out loud. It suits them when everyone keeps their mouth shut.
You know, I've been thinking lately. What if King Arthur is just a stupid fairy tale? What if the nobles and others involved in the whole conspiracy just made him up? And us peasants eventually just started to believe in it.
You know, one story for everyone. They drilled it into our heads, and drilled until it finally stuck. And then they built statues, wrote books, and everything else.
Yeah? Don't tell me you're one of those fools that think that the All-Mother exists. Have you ever seen her? How do you know that we're not being lied to?
Exactly. But maybe one day you'll see the truth.
Oh, a new face. It's always nice to see someone new here. Welcome, welcome. Why didn't I notice you earlier? Yes, my apologies. Ever since breakfast today, I've been sort of lost in thought. I keep thinking of my dear mother's cooking, especially her famous pie. You see, all we got here is venison and fish. Venison, then fish. And then fish, fish, and more fish. I can live with all the bullshit that's thrown at us soldiers. But the longer I live, the more I realize there's not much to live for, except food. And I'd kill for a slice of that pie. As if it were that easy. I ain't much of a cook. And Rorik, the one we have here, well, he says we're soldiers, so we can stick our complaints up our asses. Really? Sure, I remember well. Here you go.
Oi, friend. A question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole. Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blade sharpened? Not really. Especially since we went into a lockdown a while ago. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe? Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you. Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight, And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you. Yeah, after we lost 2 squads trying to take back the All-Mother's Temple from the Dalrita, our captain decided that nobody leaves the Horns. Then, he shut himself in his office, without leaving us any orders. Feargus is trying to keep the lads occupied, but... just look around. Half of the people here are losing their minds, and the rest are losing their wages on drink. Sometimes I wonder, how many things can go wrong at the same time. They say that misery loves company, but here, it's like we've done something to anger the gods, and they're taking their sweet revenge. First, we started hearing that the weirdness was spreading near Grubwood. Soon after that, we saw waves of bandits approaching from there. Desperate people. It took a lot of our territory. Then, the Dalrita tribes took over the All-Mother's Temple. And after that, the supply chains from Camelot collapsed for some reason. And so on and so forth. We're in quite a pickle, my friend. We've started betting on what's going to happen next. Sea monsters? Who knows? Yes, that damn forest north of here was already cursed and creepy. But now, I've heard it's an entirely different level of crazy. They say that some men here started going dark up north. With that, the weirdness started moving. And when the weirdness gets here, well, we're fucked. But you know that. Every child has heard the stories. Truth be told, most of them are just people desperate to survive. When the villages started dying out because of the weirdness, hunger, or raids, they lost their livelihoods, ended up with nothing to their names, and nowhere to go. So they banded together and started raiding whatever was left. Then they turned to killing each other. They're like rabid wolves. Too bad they're here now, too. I don't know. It's hard to explain. They kept to themselves, perched in the mountains near the Forlorn Swords. Then something happened, and suddenly we saw ships arriving near our eastern shores. A couple days later, the tribes took over. One good thing is that the bandits aren't up to fighting with them. One bad thing, we aren't either. Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle. Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it, and I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around. And now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either. Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two. If you're willing to learn, that is. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you can bring it over so I can see what you've made.
Welcome to the Museum of the Horns of the South, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Ridderick, and I will be happy to introduce you to the rich history of this fascinating place. A history that began 623 years ago with the first keeper, Sule Firstfoot. I'd also like to bring your attention to our numerous exhibits that are, as I like to say, inanimate witnesses of the history of the Horns of the South. It began in the year 542. It is the crowning achievement of a group of keepers who were fascinated with Sule Firstfoot. It took them years of tremendous effort to finally open an institution devoted to research and education, worthy of commemorating Sule's great legacy. The first keeper of the museum was Gladwin Flanagan, who was personally appointed by Captain Berach the Black. I don't doubt it, since Sule Firstfoot was a remarkable figure, well known to every keeper. Drawing on available sources, we can claim with almost absolute certainty that Sule Firstfoot was the first man who ever set foot on the island of Avalon. As you can probably guess, that's where his moniker, Firstfoot, comes from. Oh, of course! Sule was an outstanding commander whose strategic mind, bravery, and charisma contributed to our capture of the South from the Four Dwellers. He was also the founder of the Horns of the South, so I can say with absolute conviction that if it were not for Sule Firstfoot, we wouldn't even be standing here having this conversation. The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called movable, tangible heritage. The collection includes big and small items that represent the world surrounding the keepers of the Horns of the South from the 1st to the 6th century of the Avalonian era. Here you will find militaria, craft tools, everyday objects, furniture, textiles, coins, religious artifacts. I'd say all exhibits are worthy of your attention, but I could point you to the ones I personally think to be the most notable, or subjectively, of course, the most interesting. Those would be the items that used to belong to Sule Firstfoot. We have his signal horn, and also his boots. Those boots were the first to touch Avalonian soil. What is also worth mentioning is the tableware used by King Arthur himself during his visit to the Horns of the South in the 15th year of the Avalonian era. Yes, remarkable, isn't it? You can find them in the central display. Sule's boots were sewn from 3 pieces of tanned calfskin, tied at the top with a leather strap. The seam goes through the middle of the instep, which is decorated with ornamental embroidery On the outer side of each shoe, you can find a decorative brass buckle with the motif of the Camelotian bear. It is notable that even after 600 years, they are still excellently preserved, which is unusual considering the high humidity in this area. It means that even the keepers of that time must have realized the historical value of Sule's boots, and therefore made sure to adequately preserve them. I'd rather you refrained from inappropriate, childish comments. Now, where were we? Yes. The horn was used by Sule during wartime, not only for signaling, but also for intimidation. It is 50 centimeters long and made of the horn of an ox. It is the color of yellowed bone, with some ash-gray discoloration on the narrow end. It has a brass mouthpiece and silver fittings on its wider side and at the middle. The shape of the fittings suggests that the horn was hanging on a leather strap, which unfortunately has not survived to this day. It's a memento of the visit of the legendary ruler of Avalon. Impressive, isn't it? The tableware is made of tin coated with silver. It consists of a plate, a bowl, and a chalice. The edges are decorated with the motifs of Camelot, a crown and a bear. However, those ornaments are of visibly low quality. That detail, and the fact that those are the only wares from that time that have survived to this day, leads us to conclude that this set was cast specifically for that occasion, and that it was finished by a person unfamiliar with this kind of craft, perhaps a blacksmith or an armorer. Really? Do you mean it? Thank you. That's really nice to hear. I'm not used to positive feedback. Usually people only come here when they've had too much to drink and decided that it'd be fun to come over and start mocking me, or touching the exhibits with their greasy fingers. The last person who seemed to actually be interested in the museum was Lady Elaine. We talked a bit about Captain Lex and the trip that ended tragically in the year 513. It was described in The Last Voyage of the Andraste. An interesting read, although I'd say it should be classified as fiction. Lady Elaine thought differently. Apparently she's looking for the wreck of the Andraste. Can you believe that? Definitely. Personally, I believe that people gifted with curious minds should share their observations, for there's always a chance it will result in new developments. You should find Lady Elaine in the tavern, or somewhere close to it. Good luck!
yes. Still tastes like shit. Exactly how my mother would make it. It's just what I needed. Oh, don't get me wrong. I really appreciate what you did for me. It's just that every time I doubt my service in the Horns of the South, I need a reminder of why I enlisted. My mother wasn't much of anything, to tell the truth. She always said I was good for nothing, and that I should be glad she even kept me. And every day she'd bring back home a new uncle. Many of those uncles like to kick me out of my own house when they were drinking and getting busy. Then, when she'd sober up and got rid of an uncle, she'd bake me that pie as an apology. It always tasted like shit. If the other villagers hadn't been feeding me, I would have starved to death. Hence the pie. Yeah, I do. So, despite the shitty weather and the world being on the verge of collapse, there's still nowhere else I'd rather be.
So you've changed your mind? Thank you kindly. The veterans will appreciate it. You won't find the captain at the Horns of the South. He ordered us to lock down the keep, and then he disappeared. I have my suspicions about where he might be, but I can't say for sure. And frankly, I hope I'm wrong. Brandon once said he wasn't afraid to go to the Dol Riada, and the way he said it, I couldn't tell if he was joking. So maybe he went to make a deal with them? I think that's ridiculous. Everyone knows the Dol Riada are savages. Diplomacy is not their strong suit. But if it's true, if the captain did go to broker peace with the Dol Riada, you'd most likely find him at the All-Mother's Temple, where One Eye and his thugs are holed up. Getting into the temple won't be easy, that's for sure. And frankly, I'd prefer not to hear about your demise. Try sneaking in quietly, or see if you can convince the tribe's representatives to let you through. That's the best advice I can give you. And if you do find the captain, tell him to return to the Horns of the South as soon as possible. Galahad the Pure is already on his way, and he won't be pleased to find a bunch of keepers hiding behind the walls without their commander. We'll all face consequences if that happens. That's between her and the captain. Were it up to me, she'd be long gone. Her presence here distracts my men.
Heavens above! What have you done? You shouldn't be here. Definitely should not. There's no escape from this place. Just look at me. I'm stuck here for good. Get up and leave? What a joke. Oh, no. It's not that simple. And if you value your life, you'll stay here too. My curse is contagious. Just look at this boulder. This one here. It tried to kill me. And it wasn't an accident, oh no. And you, I guess, were just curious what you could find under this famous road? Dear me. You found a whole load of bad luck. And a curse to boot. But, well, if we're to die together, I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Barak, a knight. Or perhaps a would-be knight. I don't know anymore. You just try leaving, and you'll see. This stone block broke off the King's Road when I was sleeping. If it had fallen a few inches closer, I'd have ended up a bloody stain. There is no such thing as a coincidence. The gods aren't lazy. And the one who cursed me gets along with the gods pretty well. I didn't bring it upon myself. It was that damn priest clad in red. With just one look, he brought misfortune upon me. And then I brought it to Lemray. Well, it's obvious, don't you see? This stone block almost killed me. Lemray died before that. I was also attacked by bandits on the road and almost spotted by a band at Del Rita. Before that, somebody stole all of my money. And my helmet, of all things. Nonsense. You'll see. Soon something will bite me and I'll die. Or another boulder will fall and crush me to death. I would like to leave this place, that's true. I'd like to find someone to reverse the curse, but I can't go myself. Do you really want to help me? Why do you care so much about coming out from under the bridge? Why do you keep insisting? Who are you anyway? I know. You're him. You're here for me. You came here to take my life. I'm not going to give you the satisfaction, you vermin. Defend yourself.
Who goes there? Your money! alive. Your road is ours. We'll make sure.
Where do you think you're going? Go ahead, but speak to Vran first. Unless you want her berserkers to turn you into mincemeat.
Oi, keep your hands where I can see them. You've got balls to come here, but one wrong move and you'll lose them. Yeah? I do. What are you doing here?
Then you have a problem. Because the temple belongs to One Eye now, and he told us to sit out here on our arses and make sure no one goes inside. So, you're not going inside.
But I really hope you'll try. At least I could warm myself up by chopping off your head. Oh, you want an understanding? With me, a warrior from the Ophir tribe? Piss off or I'll shove my axe up your arse.
Well, well. I never thought I'd see Mabin flat on her back. Especially no by the hand of an outsider. Now, what business do you have that's so important? So, you're after that snake, huh? I've been telling One Eye he's nothing but trouble. Sure enough, it didn't take long for another outsider to show up at my camp. Sometimes, I hate being right. That man doesn't have a single honest bone in his body. He came here to make deals with us. And who knows? Maybe he'll stick to his word. But I don't trust him. Once a traitor, always a traitor, no matter who he's turning his back on. Still, I've sworn my loyalty to One Eye, and I'll stand by him to the end, whatever that may be. Anyway, he's at the temple. And before you ask, no, you can't get in unless you're ready to face my berserkers. I'm not sure yet. First, I need to see if you're really as determined as you claim. I'm not about to share our secrets with somebody that's only half committed. I've got a potion from Therov, made for my warriors. He claims his alchemy is better than what the Volker tribe has known for generations. The thing is, I don't fully trust his brews, so I need somebody else to test this one for me. Here, drink up. So, how are you feeling? What the hell? Damn it, Therov. I wasn't expecting this, not gonna lie. I don't know what you're trying to say. Just come sit by the fire with me. It should wear off soon. Feeling better now? Try saying something. Glad to see you haven't lost your sense of humour. Exactly why I've always told Therov he's full of shit. He's chasing the impossible. I knew it wouldn't work, but at least the potion wasn't dangerous. I wasn't expecting you to just go along with it. No Volker would accept a potion like that from an outsider. You're really determined to enter the temple, aren't you? No. I can see you're reckless, but I still don't know if I can trust you. Lucky for you, there's a rather delicate matter that needs handling. Turns out, I need some help for somebody who's no Del Rita. One Eye wants to make nice with the keepers, though if you ask me, no leveling their precious pile of rocks to the ground is nice enough already. But he says that's no enough. He's looking to make a gesture of goodwill. Show them we're not here to conquer but to forge an alliance against a common enemy. And he's put me in charge of picking out a gift to send to the Horns of the South. Camelot, of course. Who else is there? Acting like a damn plague in this island. Everything they touch turns to ash. It's a touch that rots and spreads, corroding everything from within. The land, the people, nothing is safe. The sooner they're gone, the better for everybody. I've got one. I sent some of my men to hunt down bandits and told them to collect an ear from each one they killed. I thought of Ugwi make them into a necklace, but apparently, stringing ears on a wire is beneath his pride as an Ulfrite smith. Think you could help me put it together and deliver it to the Horns of the South? Look, I had my doubts too, because for any Del Rita, a gift like this would have been seen as an insult, like throwing their weaknesses in their faces. But One Eye always says the people here are different for us. He believes they'll appreciate the protection once we settle in. The thing is, they don't trust us yet, and I doubt they'll just take our word for it. The ears are meant to show our commitment to the cause. I know your lot thinks we're savages, but just so you know, it's no a tradition with us either. How else would they know we've been helping? The keepers probably wouldn't notice fewer bandits. They barely leave their walls. If you've got a better idea, I'm all ears. I could have Ugwi forge an axe, but he doesn't see much difference between the Southerners and the Camlosians. No that I blame him. I can't either. I just take One Eye's word that it exists. But I don't trust Ugwi not to somehow make it insulting. As for my people, the Volker stripped themselves of any meaning a long time ago. The only thing we have left is the Berserker potion. But that's too precious to just hand over. Aye. As much as I hate to admit it, you might be right. If they accept it, maybe they'll accept us. If no, at least we'll be prepared for the worst. So, I'll need a few things for you. I'll handle the brewing. No, I couldn't. But I could give you the recipe for a different potion if you help me out. Now go, afore I change my mind.
What's that noise? What's that supposed to be? We'll make it short working. Your money? Boy, you made a big mistake. You're only making me angrier. Your money? We'll make short working. That hurt.
Help! Much better. I suggest we leave quickly. You may have attracted some attention with your actions. I overheard them mention the ruins of Roskri.
It's a tiny village, long abandoned. I suspect its people fled to the horns of the south. But if you're thinking of ambushing the Crow, I beg you, don't. These are dangerous people, and I doubt a Crow would come alone. However, if we pretend you're the bandit supposed to deliver me, they didn't keep me in prison for nothing. I can defend myself. I just need my hands freed. I propose we meet near Roscry and deal with the Crow together. Thanks to you, I'm no longer their prisoner. But I fear for my brothers and sisters. If they don't get me, they'll just find 3 others like me, and the horror will continue. I cannot allow that. Excellent. We must remain vigilant. The children of Morrigan are formidable foes. Thanks to our union, Avalon will be a safer place.
Oh, a new face. I haven't seen you before. And I'm in the woods. Is that how you want to talk? It depends on who's asking. And why. Nah, I'm kidding. I don't meet many outsiders these days. I'm Marg, a hunter in the service of the Horns of the South. I don't know what it is about this place,
But even the dead hardly ever get any rest. Though I'll admit, it's getting worse lately. They keep emerging from the local cemetery in numbers greater than that small plot of land ever held. So I'm guessing we might have a necromancer on our hands. And here I thought after the charred conclave, we'd have more than 100 years of peace from them. Only every century or so. But even that's too often if you ask me. Something seems to draw them here. Well, it's probably all that death. The South has always been restless. And after what happened with the sunken village, I guess death has seeped into the very soil of this land. Must be quite alluring for that lot. Because I'm not stupid or suicidal. I can go up against a few undead. But their masters are a different story. I'm a simple hunter, while they have the power to raise the dead. Arrows are only good against magic if you're far away from the caster, which is impossible in the crypt. But if you decide not to help, I'll have no choice, will I? Or I could just wait for the necromancer to be destroyed by what they summoned. It happens sometimes, from what I've heard. Good. And try not to die. That undead swarm doesn't need any more recruits.
Who goes there? Are you the one responsible for all that racket? People are trying to rest in peace, damn it. You'll have to forgive them. They're a little disoriented. Waking up in this way is like coming out of a thick fog you've been wandering through for days on end. Dulls the senses, clouds the mind, terrible for coordination. Interested in local history, are you? Good, good. The memory of those who came before us should be preserved. I can let you in. There is a small fee of 5 gold coins, for the upkeep of the cemetery, of course. It's constant work, as you can clearly see, and my petitions for additional funds seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Bless you, kind stranger. Those old bones are not what they used to be. Here, just take the key. Be careful, though. There's evil dwelling in those crypts. Oh, and I hope I don't need to remind you not to rob any graves. It's terribly rude, and I'd rather not deal with the complaints. My name's Huardok, and I am the keeper of this place. I look after the dead, or at least, I try to. It used to be much easier where they stayed in one place. Now I need to keep making sure they don't stray too far from the cemetery. But I'm not complaining. A little exercise is good for the body. Dead, alive, what's the difference? I am here. I always have been, and I always will be, until the day I'm released from my service. Truth be told, I'm not quite sure. Has it been a long time since the wave came and swallowed the village? That was when people stopped coming here. It's like the sea washed away the memory of this place as well. I don't remember much of what happened afterwards. I must have fallen asleep for a while.
Careful there! Try not to step on the array. It's advanced magic. Very fragile.
Quite the contrary. This place is perfect. I've read that the soil of the south is steeped with the type of energy I require. But what I've encountered here surpasses all my expectations. I have the ideal conditions and the perfect subjects. I'm doing everything right, and still nothing bloody works. There must be some sort of interference. Or maybe it's the bones. Always seems to be the bones. Oh, you're still here. I advise you to leave. My work requires concentration, and I've no time for interruptions from grave robbers. I don't care what you are, just as long as you're not here. Ha ha ha, very funny. I'll have you know that I'm conducting valuable research. Research that could be crucial to the future of Avalon. Very well. Do you know what I like most about the dead? They don't tire, and they don't feel pain. But you will.
Yes? Did you find out what's been happening out there? Great. A necromancer. Just what we needed. It wasn't the Dark Druid from the legends, was it?
Good thing you got rid of him then. We already have the Dalriada almost on our doorstep. We don't need an army of the undead to boot.
You did well. Maybe it's not so bad having you here.
You? Ah, shit. Another mouth to feed. Teargas must have been off his rocker if he thinks I can feed everyone with the little he gives me. I'm serious. If we don't open the keep soon, we'll have to start eating rats. Not that I can't cook them in a way that makes you think it's chicken. It's a good thing you didn't start with calm down, or I'd have shoved my cleaver up your arse. Yeah, I'm pissed off. Because our gracious sovereigns recently decided to let in a bunch of refugees from the villages. They say they're running from the weirdness, but who knows, really? So now I had even more hungry mouths to feed. And since the captain ordered the letdown of our keep, the supplies are dwindling a lot faster than I'd like. Of course, I can make you 1,000 different dishes based on fish and krauts. But come on, even the keepers need some variety in their lives. Oh, this is new. Maybe we'll get along after all. The dimwits here never want to learn, only eat.
Blessings upon you, stranger. May the word always resonate within your soul. Certainly, Kai's blessings know no bounds, but sometimes it's useful to seal them in a handy flask. May Kai's word.
Restless.
Careful. Legs snap easy. So, do you have what I asked for? Good. Now give me a moment. Here, take this package, but handle it carefully. This potion is the essence of my tribe. It's what makes us Volker. We were once a proud people, and this is the source of that pride. Parting with this vial is a show of our respect. Or rather, I promise that we'll respect their ways if they respect ours. I need you to understand this, and ensure they understand it too. Got it? It's a gesture of goodwill, not a full supply shipment. Besides, they only need a sip, not the entire bottle. That's more than enough. It's all that remains from the blessing Mither once bestowed on us, before we were abandoned. Nae Camlotian alchemist can replicate it, no matter how hard they try. Every Voker knows the recipe, but the source of the main ingredient has been lost, along with Mither's favour. Every drop I use is taken from what little my people have left. So I really bloody hope the Keepers understand its value. Thank you. May Mither guide you, wherever she is. Ah, I almost forgot. I did promise you a recipe for a different potion. Here you go.
What in the world is this supposed to be? Some kind of potion? We already have Heba with his endless experiments. Do we really need more dubious concoctions floating around? You don't suppose they're trying to poison us, do you? Peaceful, you say? The Dol Riata, talking about peace. I never thought I'd hear the day. What bizarre times these are. Well, pass on my thanks to them. Damn it. I don't really have anything worthy to send back. Wait a moment. How about this? Take a barrel of fish with you. It's not a sacred potion, but food is food. Not something to scoff at nowadays. I just hope they won't take offense.
I'd rather face blades than boredom. You're back. How did it go? What is this? A barrel of salted fish? Oh, that's very generous of him. We live up in the mountains. It's cold. Nobody's keen on freezing their arse off for hours just to catch some fish. For us, it's a delicacy. Even if it might not seem like much to them. But food is scarce everywhere, so this is a really thoughtful gesture, even if it isn't grand. I am. To be honest, I wasn't expecting much. I figured the potion would just end up shattered on the stone, but he's not only took it, he's reciprocated. Maybe I was wrong about the Southerners. Maybe there's hope for peace with One Eye's plan after all. You head to the temple. I'll bring him the good news once you're gone.
need to make a plan. Camelot will soon figure out something's not right.
Don't fret. To the Dolriada, honor matters more than life itself. We gave you our word.
But do you realize that taking this temple was a terrible idea, right? It's just gonna speed up Camelot's intervention.
Taking the temple was inevitable.
Why? What do you mean? Are you trying to provoke Camelot into invading? Or you just not like the All-Mother?
We believe in the same goddess, but we call her Mirror.
Well, that doesn't answer my question. What do you want? You don't look like you're from the tribes. How did you even get here?
Whoever he is, I cannot say he lacks courage. We don't usually take visitors, so he must have found a way to get here. Well, that seems to be a matter for the Horns of the South. I do not need to be involved. I trust you to know what should be shared, and what's best kept to yourself.
I don't know what kind of madness brought you here, flashing that pin, but my friend's right. You've got courage. So, tell me, who are you, and what do you need from me? Ha! Good luck with that! Only King Arthur can wield Excalibur. Every fool on Avalon knows that. Caradoc. Well, that changes things. I had a feeling that pin you're waving around was his. Fine, yes. Every new captain gets a set of secrets passed down from his predecessor. And yes, one of those secrets is how to touch Excalibur and survive. But nothing in life is free, you know that. Do something for me, and I might consider sharing our greatest secret with you. Galahad the Pure is breathing down my neck, and I hate it when someone's breathing down my neck. Even worse, One-Eye's men say he's already set up camp at our old stronghold in the west. Galahad needs to die, obviously. That'll solve most of our problems. We'll just say he had an unfortunate accident, you know, fell on a pitchfork or something, and sweep it under the rug. By then, we can continue our talks with the tribes, and by the time anyone from Camelot decides to act, it'll be too late. What's wrong with that? It's him or us. If we let him snoop around here any longer, he's gonna uncover our plan to protect the South. And if that happens, trust me, you'll be going down with me. Yes, it's that simple. Just flash that pin to his guards. They'll let you in without a problem. And now, excuse me, I have things to do before the matter is settled.
Stop right there! Who are you? And what do you want here? Very funny. You're lucky I have to answer. We're the personal guard of Sir Galahad the Pure, a knight of the Round Table. But you won't be meeting him until you tell us why you're here. You could also leave in peace. That's what I'd recommend. It's true.
that this pin obliges me to take you to the night. But did you actually earn it, or did you just pluck it from a corpse? Well, that's for Galahad to decide. Go. But bear in mind that Galahad is not a patient man. I only hope your cause is worth his time. Otherwise, we'll be carrying you out in a sack. The door is open. You'll find Galahad inside. Try not to make him angry.
I can hear you. Who goes there? It's shiny, sure, but you clearly have no idea what you're doing. Waving a round table pin in front of a knight of the round table? Not the smartest move. Normally, I'd throw you out for your arrogance and stupidity. But you're lucky. I've got a soft spot for boldness. And that pin has me curious. Where'd you get it? You mean you found Caradoc's tomb and robbed it? Then draw your weapon and prepare for death, because robbing the tombs of the Knights of the Round Table is both a crime and blasphemy against Camelot.
for battle.
You'll fall to my sword!
I see fear in your eyes. I will be your scout! We may be in for a fight. You are nothing but a... I'll strike you down. Show me what you are made of. I'll strike you down. I'll strike you down. You'll fall to my sword.
Oh, look who's here. Has the destiny of the South graced my humble abode? That's wonderful news! You have no idea what a favour you've done for the South. Now we'll finally be independent and safe. Because sometimes the best defence is a good offence. We were backed into a corner, eh? It were us or him. First off, he represented Camelot, and we're done with their influence, no more of their wars. Second, after the massacre of One Eye's tribe, his death was convenient for both of us. And when the tribes finally unite and come down from the mountains, there's a chance they might leave us alone. Third, he figured me out. He knew what I'd discovered and he wanted to stop me. And trust me, what I found is going to change the South's history. Proof that Camelot is rotten to the core, and that allying with the tribes is the right choice. I didn't plan to tell you, but my one-eyed friend convinced me. Since you took down Galahad, you deserve to know. As a reward for your help, I'll share this secret with you. Here, take this seal. In the sunken village, you'll find the entrance to Sule's crypt. Everyone knows the story of how the evil druid sealed and flooded the place. It's true, at least part of it. But the real story is why they sealed and flooded it. One Eye broke the old seals and replaced them with his own. If you want to see what Camelot was so desperate to hide, you'll find your answers there. They thought drowning a village would keep it secret. Behind the statue, you'll find where to use the seal. Once you do, you'll see that history is very different from what we've been telling ourselves. If that doesn't convince you that Camelot's foundations are more crap-coloured than tinged with ivory, then nothing will. I won't tell you anything more. I'd hate to spoil the surprise. I'll catch up with you later, and we'll talk. I'm sure you'll understand exactly what I mean.
Getting restless.
know this place. I remember it, although my memory is still clouded. I was here with Merlin. We had a disagreement about something important. It was here that the idea of how to end the war with the Foredwellers first took shape. But what happened next is still unclear. I don't remember. And yet, I know it had something to do with Seawall, a place of his eternal rest. But something is wrong. It doesn't feel like a tomb. Be cautious.
are not him. You are different. I am Sule Firstfoot, the one who scouted the land before the traitor Arthur set foot on it. I was loyal. I was devoted. Arthur wanted more. Arthur betrayed me. Yes, it is my legacy. The Jewel of the South, the safe haven of honorable men. I've been here for so long, it doesn't matter anymore. The Dalriata promised me revenge. They understand what happened here. Everyone who comes here has the right to ask. I was the most loyal of Arthur's men. I was the first to go ashore and take on any danger that might arise in this new and unfamiliar land. Then came the war. I fought by his side, shielded him with my own body. I trusted him. But Arthur wanted more. Arthur longed to possess a power equal to that of our enemies. So Merlin decided our king must first become immortal. Only then could he achieve greatness. But Merlin needed volunteers. Trusted people to go first to make sure that his methods were effective. So we wouldn't risk Arthur's life in trying to grant him immortality. They thought I had died, so they buried me. Arthur's greed and Merlin's obsession made me what I am now. Arthur should have made sure. They thought I was dead, but I heard everything. I know there were others after me. I know that the king didn't hesitate to do anything to achieve his goal. He experimented on all the knights, abusing their oath. He told them it was for the greater good. Their lives, our lives, meant nothing to him. Arthur doomed his people to eternal suffering. Their names forgotten. Their loyalty abused. He sacrificed the lives of the noblest of men. And this is the greatest possible betrayal. We cannot be helped. We cannot be killed. The Dalriata promised to burn down Camelot, avenge the memory of all my brothers. Camelot was built on betrayal. People have the right to live in truth. When Camelot falls, we will finally be free. Build a new world. Let the dead leave this one.
And? What do you think? Oh, they're just fools. Somebody made a stupid mistake in the past. Somebody else decided to cover it up. Somebody came up with traditions and stories to mask what was done. And for hundreds of years, fools were eating it up because the lies were easier to believe. Really, there's no point in invoking tradition any longer, because it's worth shit. The only thing that matters is safety and loyalty towards the one who can provide it. And honestly, I don't believe the ones running this entire circus will protect anyone but themselves. Well, now we've found ourselves in what I'd probably call a clusterfuck. And somehow, you unwittingly became the most important person in the region because your decision will change how the entire situation unfolds. You see, my boys from the Horns of the South are split down the middle. Some will back me, but others won't understand what I'm trying to do. The latter, like Feargas, are the traditionalists, and they know me a little bit too well. If I come to them with this revelation, they think it were a conspiracy. But if somebody from the outside, somebody Feargas trusts, steps in and convinces him, you see where I'm going with this? Ha! That's what I wanted to hear. I knew I could count on you. Go talk to Feargas, get him to visit this place. After you're done, please visit me in the shrine. I just hope Feargas shows some sense and doesn't let his pride take over.
Oh, really? And here I thought the Horns of the South had no secrets left to hide from me. But go ahead. Surprise me. Have I ever mentioned I'm not a big fan of your sense of humor? Now, tell me what you really want, or walk away. In silence, preferably. This isn't funny. I'm no Galahad, burning people at the stake for heresy, but I don't appreciate this kind of behavior either. Still, judging by the look on your face, you actually believe you've stumbled onto something important. All right then. I'll go and check it out. See what's got you so worked up. It might even be nice to get out of here for a change. I saw what you wanted me to see. We need to talk. Honestly, I'm not sure what to think. Everything I believed has been seriously challenged. I need some time to get used to it. Why did you show this to me? Because it could be that I'd be better off not knowing. What they did to Seawall is unthinkable and absolutely unforgivable. What will the other keepers say? What will happen to the Horns of the South? And what about Camelot? Everything we believed was a lie. You're right. In the end, it doesn't matter what Camelot was back then. What matters is what we are now. And we did everything in our power to keep the South safe, and to keep our lighthouse on through every storm. But this will be the end of the Horns of the South. No young man will join our ranks when hundreds of years of our history are gurgling down the drain. Any ideas? It sounds better than the alternative. That we're a bunch of fools believing in children's fables of knightly honor, valor, and purity. And we'll have to give everyone some hope to cling to after the truth about Seawall comes out. All right. I assume Brandon put you up to this, so you can go and congratulate him. He won. I'll support this case, if only for the safety and well-being of our boys. I don't have to like it one bit, but I can try to make it easier for the garrison.
Ah, you're back. So, what news do you bring? Did you talk to Feargas? Good. Just as I expected. I do feel for the boy. He really loved Camelot. Probably the last truly loyal keeper. But he had to know the truth. I knew his honor wouldn't let him hide it from the others in the Orns. Nicely done. Now, I'll get One Eye, and together we'll go to the Orns with the good news. Not everybody will be happy about it, but that's for me to deal with. Those who don't support us will be released from their oath, and I'll ensure they're safe until they leave the South. After that, whatever they choose to do is up to them. Brothers, today marks a new chapter in the history of the Horns of the South. Today, we put an end to fear and poverty. I understand your pain. I know you feel helpless in the face of the looming terror of the weirdness. Camelot has abandoned us, brothers. For years, they've given us no aid. All they do is take our resources, send us to senseless slaughter, and keep us in the dark. Camelot doesn't see us as equals. They've forgotten Seawolf Firstfoot's legacy and the promise King Arthur made to us. We were meant to stand as equals. We were meant to be just as powerful as them. And all this time, do you know what they've done to the founder of the Horns of the South? For over 600 years, Seawolf has been alive, forgotten by King Arthur and all of Camelot. You don't have to take my word for it. Seawolf's tomb is open. Go and see for yourselves. I say, enough. Enough of being fed a rotten myth that turned out to be one great lie. We swore loyalty to the torturers of one of the noblest knights to ever walk Avalon. I say, enough. We will no longer honor an oath made to dishonorable people. We won't let ourselves be exploited any longer. But, my brothers, I bring news. Galahad the Pure, the same Galahad who threatened to burn half our garrison at the stake, is dead. Galahad's death is our chance to break free from Camelot. Enough lies. No more risking everything for those who only know how to take. You're probably wondering, how can we protect the South on our own? How can we defend ourselves when Camelot comes to reclaim their slaves? Yes, that's what we are to them. I know the lockdown of the fortress surprised you, and for that, I truly apologize, but it was necessary to keep you from attacking our new allies, the Del Rita tribes, led by One Eye.
I know, my brothers, I know. This must be a shock, especially since I didn't share my plans with you earlier. But hear me out. Thanks to this alliance between the Horns of the South and the Dalriada tribes, we are securing the safety of the South and our independence from Camelot.
The tribes will provide us with the military support our depleted ranks desperately need. The tribes will help us rid the South of the bandits who've plagued our people for years. Together, we'll share knowledge and resources to ensure a better future for all Southerners.
We will not drain your resources. In fact, we'll replenish your armories and fill your pantries. We'll stand together, fighting side by side to bring peace and order back to the South. In return, all we ask is your loyalty. If you see a brother from the Dalriada fight in the Camelotian, stand with our brother. That's all.
Of course, if anyone isn't in favor of this alliance, you have the right to leave the service. I declare a new era for the Horns of the South. Those who don't wish to help build this future are released from their oaths. To those who choose to stay, I promise a good life, and you won't face any more threats. Now, brothers, return to your duties and rest easy. The Horns of the South will endure, and soon we'll be stronger than ever before. an honest matter. What do you need? Ah, right. See, the problem with Excalibur, or indeed any of King Arthur's blades, is that you need to prove you're worthy of wielding it. How are you supposed to do that? Hell knows. But if the pin that secured your entry to the Horns has led you here, I think I know what the one who gave it to you might have been thinking. You see, there are many different legends. According to one of them, there are a few places on Avalon where you can prove yourself worthy, whatever that means. And one of those places, as you can probably guess, is nearby. Have you seen the old gong in the sunken village? Well, many years ago, when people still went to the woods for a shit instead of using a privy, it was part of a certain ritual. Only the people who passed the ritual could become keepers. Eh? None of the living keepers were recruited that way, so we don't really know what happens during the ritual. That's why Galahad now appoints keepers and the captain chooses them. It's just safer that way. I only know that you need to sound the gong and then lie down to sleep at its base. If you wake up, I mean, when you wake up again in the morning, you'll know you've been deemed worthy. Unfortunately, the gong is broken, so first, you'll need to find a way to fix it. And since it's made of weird steel, that's not going to be easy, is it? Fortunately, Oshbrit should be able to help you. A little bird told me he likes to play with weird steel when nobody's looking. Just tell him I sent you, and he won't give you any trouble. Then you'll have to find someone smarter than me, because I already told you everything I know. Well, of course they tried. It turns out that the keepers who passed the ritual could hold it longer than anyone else. Maybe it'll be enough for what you need, and maybe something entirely different will happen. It's your risk and your decision. Well, I'm not going to lie. From what I've heard, many people never woke up. They fell into eternal slumber, so that's why we abandoned the tradition. And those who woke up were changed, and none of them ever wanted to say exactly what happened there. Go, and may the southern wind be in your favor. If you need anything from the old captain, you know where to find me.
Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is? Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it. Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe. Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it.
wanderer in the sunken village. You must be lost. Back in the day, you just needed to look at the stars and you'd know where you were going. Now, even they are misplaced. I guess I'm just an old man listening to the sound of the sea. Every wave carries a story, you know. Some are whispers, others are roars. I like to think they're keeping me company. Long ago, I decided to wait for something to happen. So I'm waiting for what's ahead of me. But I can feel that it's closer than ever. Everything that's around us, it's not yet the end. And that thought really bothers me. Monsters? I think you misunderstand. I don't see any monsters here, only lost villagers, still clinging to their home. It's sad, but as you can see, not much depends on us. The world just keeps on happening, and you happen along with it. They were given some time which they've tried to use as much as they could, that's all. I'm glad they allow me to stay here despite what happened. I like this place. It's the cycle of life. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you're afraid, it means you're struggling with something too much, my friend. Sometimes you just need to sit and look. Watch everything turn. The sunken village was not always sunken, but one day someone, undoubtedly important, made a decision, undoubtedly necessary, that it would be better to make it so. So the wave came and made the village into the sunken village, and its inhabitants, well, you can see for yourself. I know that some druids did it. Specific individuals, although their names have long been forgotten. This is no great mystery, my friend. You'd have to ask those responsible for the flood. Who knows what's going through people's heads? Maybe someone ordered them to do it. We'll never know. That's a good question. Maybe they burnt during the charred conclave. Maybe not. Nevertheless, the punishment was delivered and justice prevailed. Once again, the world was made a better place. At least that's what those who set fire to the stakes preach. All in the name of the Word. Among others, this wouldn't have happened if not for Camelot's desperation. Many tragic decisions were made. I don't know if the word was so unambiguous or if its interpretation failed. What happened on the fields of the charred conclave wasn't just about the flood, my friend. It was about things and forces we don't understand. Long ago enough for people to have no chance of discovering why it happened, and yet recently enough that this place still reminds us of it. Now the village is what it is, and the past has washed away. At least it can still be home for them. And I'll stay and look. These are interesting times indeed. I have everything I need, the entire world in one place. Before you go, I would like to ask you one thing. Who are you? I understand. I see you, I hear you, and I have a feeling that you will find what you're looking for. Farewell, and thank you for visiting me, my friend. You can come keep me company whenever you want. The sunsets here are beautiful.
How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment. Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to, if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive. I have nothing to tell you. I could try to talk you out of it, but I'm guessing that wouldn't work.
Disturb my peace. You made an oath never to summon me again. Excalibur. Wait. Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me. But you are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you, my friend.
And you, mortal. You have given yourself to the King's service. You are worthy of a place among the Keepers of the South. Arthur, Take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself. And when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
I am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No. We can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom, for Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal. But if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom. And you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way? That will take time, and resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor. Justified? No. Justification is for those who have the luxury of doubt. And I had a kingdom to save. They were brave men who volunteered their lives, just as they did every time we rode onto the battlefield. The difference was that if Merlin succeeded, one man's sacrifice could have saved us all, could have ended the war before more blood was spilled. If sacrificing a few meant the survival of all, then there was no choice at all. Maybe they never saw justice. Maybe their real stories were erased from history. Call it cruelty, call it madness. But if I'd done nothing, there would be no Avalon left to argue over. But the kingdom still stands. The people live. And that has to mean something. I did. But this wasn't about pride. It wasn't about saving face. It was about survival. The truth about all this would have broken my people. I couldn't allow that. And a king doesn't get to flinch. If that meant carrying the weight alone, so be it. I would make that choice again if I had to. I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going, and he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them, wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness. And in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper. older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised, and the kingdom stood safe. That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Sule. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices. But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
You've got that look again, like you've seen something you wish you hadn't. Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time? Merlin. Ah, Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win. I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea, immortality. Me and Sule, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster. Fight back. Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done. Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win. And desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar. Even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it. Sule was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky. But to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think? The monsters, the weirdness, the chaos. All of it leads back to them. We're left in the ruins of their grand plans, trying to uphold their ideals, fighting for what never was. It's time to bury all these fairy tales in a well-deserved grave. And that's what I do. Of course he'd say that. There's always a scapegoat and a convenient excuse for men like him. But it doesn't absolve him. Not when he was the one who unleashed this madness on all of us. He wanted victory, no matter the cost. And when you want something that badly, you stop looking too closely at what's being done in your name. And, after all, who said we were supposed to win this war? Who said we were supposed to survive? You've seen what they did, what he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this, once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. Whether to stand with you or step over you, the choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you. Start. You've already started. But if you want the next piece, head to Kunacht. The Menhir there is failing, the weirdness swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield our king gave to Palamedes. He was one of the king's finest, a voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield, and then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.